Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Samslow33 here, and welcome to one of my battle videos. This is from the same tournament, league tournament that happened in my last game. If you haven't seen that last video, go watch that. I am currently 1-0. Yeah. And this match is going to be the second round of that tournament, and this, of course, I'm still on the left with my Team Plasma deck, standard such things. And on the right is a player I have not featured before. His name is Mikey. He is a junior player, and he's using one of my decks, which is a Virizion Genesect deck, because he forgot his deck that day. And yeah, so this is he is not something he normally play. It is heavily proxied. It's not since I'm using all my real cards in this deck I have right here. But so I apologize about that, but I will try to list every proxied card that pops up to make it less confusing. But anyway, he is a alright player. He hasn't had much success, but he definitely knows how to build a deck decently and play sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. He's a good player. I'm messing up my words, but anyway, he's using my list, which I don't want to be selfish or self-absorbed, but I'd say it's a upgrade from the lists he would build himself. Yeah, I know that sounds really rude, but never mind. Just forget I said that. I'm coming off like a jerk right now. I apologize. But anyway, it is my turn first. It appears, or maybe I'm drawing for the mulligan. And I do, yes, it is, I believe, my turn first. I start with a Keldeo EX, which has to be the worst possible thing to start with. Not just in general, which it is, but in this matchup especially, because it is weak to grass, and it will definitely be a huge target for Mikey in this matchup. It's definitely going to be one of his two prizes he's going to take. So it looks like that's what I'm pointing out right here. And looks like my hand is rather bad. Looks like I have options, but it's just gonna drain a lot of resources. It appears, yeah, Juniper. Look at that. There's like 5. I think that's 2 plasma energy, 2 prism energy, a chorus machine, a silver bangle, and I think one other thing. That was quite a terrible Juniper. Hopefully, I'll be able to recover from that. And I'm drawing my 7 cards, and I do get something else to bench. Does not look like I have some. I do have a float stone. Scratch what I said before. So I will be able to retreat this Keldeo and hopefully not be hit by him and get damage on my Keldeo. I want to keep this thing out of harm's way. He's starting with a Tropius. Not one of the against my deck especially, that would be a poor starter, if not for the fact that I had a bad hand. If I had a good hand and was able to use Thundurus EX, I would be able to knock it out because of the lightning weakness, and he might have lost on the first turn, but he will survive. For now. And that Tropius is not a terrible starter, but definitely could be better. There are worse starters, such as Keldeo EX, but he would prefer to start with a Virizion, and Genesect is better depending on the situation. And he is going to Catcher my Keldeo EX and Tool Scrapper, and then use Return. And now he's trying to stick me up in the active spot, prevent me from using any of my other attackers. Not having Keldeo stuck active and keep being hit by Tropius's attacks, which are doubled thanks to its weakness, of course, as I've said before. So having this active, hitting and him using Return on it will get some damage on the field. If he just hits the Deoxys with his Return attack, then that's not going to be much of help to him. That's just 10 damage. It doesn't really affect the game very much. But if he hits the Keldeo, it will definitely matter. It will possibly matter at some point. Generally, you usually want to just use, like, for example, Megalo Cannon just once will knock out the Keldeo, but maybe he's going for something where he hits the Keldeo multiple times with Return, and then maybe followed up by an Emerald Slash, and if he has the resource, if it's still not knocked out, he can use the 20 damage from Megalo Cannon to knock it out on the bench later. But off my end, let's see if I get a Float Stone. I definitely want a Float Stone to retreat into something else. And just Float Stone is obviously the reason Keldeo is in this deck is for Float Stone. If a Float Stone is attached to Keldeo, it has free retreat, or if Float Stone is attached to anything, it has free retreat. And Keldeo has the Russian ability, which allows it to immediately send itself to the active spot as opposed to your current active Pokemon. So, yeah, that especially is good to prevent your opponent from capturing a Pokemon with high retreat and sticking you there, making it hard for you to get back to your attacking Pokemon. But it is also very good against, or very good with Kyurem, because its attack Blizzard Burn does 120 damage, and then it cannot attack next turn. But if you can bring Kyurem to the bench and back to the active spot, you can use Blizzard Burn again that following turn. So with Keldeo, you can rush in and retreat with a Float Stone, and you will be able to use Blizzard Burn back to back, which is why Keldeo is in this deck. And this is a very, very Kyurem focused list. I think I said this before, but this has 4 Kyurem in this deck list, and that is because Kyurem is just such a strong Pokemon in my opinion. So now Mikey's turn. It looks like a pretty good turn for him. He played a Juniper and got a Virizion EX with an energy on it, as well as a Genesect, as well as 2 Genesects, which are you're gonna want like all your Genesects out in the game, 2, 3. Definitely, you're gonna need more than 1. That's for sure. It's your main attacker. Virizion and Tropius will not get you very far, and he does have a town map as well, which will give him options once he gets his first knockout. It appears G Booster is not prized, which is the entire purpose of town map. But town map is actually still a very solid card, even after, or even if G Booster is not prized. It allows you to take whatever card you want, as opposed to just getting a random card from your prizes. And it seems his prizes do have a lot of options. He has a supporter in there, the N, of course. He has a Burbank City Gym, no Toxic Laser, 2 energy, and a catcher, Pokemon catcher. That is what the glaring card is. I apologize for the glare. But, I can't really do anything about that. I don't want to tell the store manager, hey, can you turn down the lights so my camera can, make better videos? Thanks. I mean, maybe I should just, buy Pro Mat sleeves from your store, but, that's just stupid. Why would anyone do that? Your store is terrible. No, I'm just kidding. That was a blatant lie. If the store manager is watching, I apologize. I'm good friends with him. He's a good guy. He's the league leader, basically, our league leader. Left a while ago, and he had to take up as the leader. But looks like I'm going to retreat to Kyurem this turn. I have the 2 energy. I will not be able to use a Blizzard Burn because I do not have a Colress machine. I would have liked to hit that. But I'm going to use Frost Spear and hit the Tropius for 30 and the Virizion EX for 30. Did I say 30 for the Tropius? It's 40 to Tropius, 30 to Virizion. There. Normally Frost Spear would do 30 to the active and 30 to a bench, but Deoxys does add the 10 damage. And Virizion gets a Grass Energy on it, so he will be able to use Emerald Slash this turn, and hitting a Kyurem with Emerald Slash is something he definitely wants to do. As I said in my video, if you hit it with my mix-up video, or my Back to Reality on Virizion Genesect, you want to hit a Kyurem with Emerald Slash and then a Megalo Cannon to knock it out, which will do 150 damage, which is plenty to knock out a Kyurem. And he's going to play a Genesect here, which is a card I said I liked in this deck a lot. Doesn't seem to be helping him much here. He's just going to get 1 card from me, the Ultra Ball. And then he is going to retreat to his Virizion EX and get more energy onto Genesect, which is definitely what he wants to do right now. And, of course, Genesect being your main attacker, that's always what you want to do. And get energy on Genesect. But anyway, I need to power up another attacker soon-ish, because he will almost definitely be able to knock me out this turn if he attaches an energy to Genesect, which he should be able to get one, very likely. Odds are in his favor, definitely, to get an energy. I run, I believe, 13 plus, and I top deck the Ultra Ball that he shuffled back into my deck, which is kind of funny. It's the 1 card I lost, and I just get it right back. I don't know if I'm actually going to use it or not. It's going to be, I think my hand is mostly supporters. I think it's like an Anna, Juniper, a Blend Energy, and a Bianca. No, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to discard the Blend Energy. I'm not sure what I'm doing there with discarding the Blend. Maybe I have another energy in my hand, but I'm getting another Deoxys. So maybe I only have 1 more card in my deck, or in my hand, and it's a Juniper. And I just wanted to get the Deoxys out because I thought that was more important than getting the energy. and it is more important for the most part. What I want to hit this turn is a energy, of course, which I just discarded for some reason. Let's see if I do have another card. Looks like I do have. Oh no, I do have a prism energy in my hand. I guess it would have been smarter to attach the blend energy and discard the prism in case I want to use Raiden Knuckle. But that is a very rare situation because this Kyurem is probably going down. So that doesn't really matter, but it could matter, so just make sure to do that in the future. And it looks like I got the silver bangle that I wanted to knock out this Virizion. Now, that I would normally be able to knock out the Virizion, I'd be doing 140 damage, which would knock it out, but Virizion does have a water resistance to Kyurem, which is very annoying, quite frankly. It's bothersome in a lot of ways. Kyurem, does 100 with Silver Bangle and 2 Deoxys on the bench, it does 170. So that 20 damage resistance from Virizion prevents it from being one hit knocked out, which is the exact reason why, I put the 30 damage on Virizion, so I would be able to knock it out. Looks like here I'm going to play a Team Plasma Ball and get a Kyurem, probably preparing for this Kyurem to be knocked out. So I will have another Kyurem. I do have another Kyurem on the bench, but I just can't get enough of those Kyurems, really. They're just, incredible cards. The big power of the deck, 180 damage, 170. The main reason this deck is so good. If it was just Thundurus and Deoxys and Absol, it would be kind of lackluster. But, if you build the deck different, maybe, you can make those work. But this list, it goes straight for Kyurem, no other option than just Blizzard Burn, Blizzard Burn, Blizzard Burn. But now it's Mikey's turn, and he's, looks like right now, all he really needs is an energy, but he's going to bench another Virizion EX, which is good, because if I do, by chance, play a Hypnotoxic Laser, which I do not have in my deck, he would want at least one Virizion EX out at all times. He's going to play a Team Plasma Ball. He's probably going to get his third Genesect out, because he does play 3. I know his list exactly. He's not going to get it, it seems. Maybe he has it in his hand, or maybe it's on the field, and I just don't see it. He's covering a lot of the cards. No. Scratch what I said. There's a Genesect already on his bench, and he may have one in his hand as well. Actually, I think I may have just saw it on the bottom of his deck. I could be wrong, but all those great cards kind of blend together. So we'll see. And he's going to play a Juniper here. I'm going to take a look at his cards. I don't like when people just discard the entire hand and don't let me see it, because it seems like it's not just me, but everyone else is just like, oh, I'll drop my entire thing in there, and then their opponent's just like, oh, I'm going to look at your discard. What'd you discard? Oh, there's some stuff. Let me get it back out of my discard and differentiate the cards I discarded from the ones that are already in there. It's just a huge mess. But anyway, it seemed that Mikey, with his Juniper, discarded a Prism or Plasma Energy, and I would have let him attach it back, but I'm not exactly sure why he didn't attach it to the Genesect. Maybe he wanted to save it for a Shadow Triad, because he does not want to. He doesn't want to use Red Signal right now. He wants to Megalocannon the active and just knock me out. He does get a Grass Energy, so it doesn't bite him in the butt too much. But that lost energy attachment may be problematic in the future if he does not get one next turn. But if he does not have one in his hand, he may just take one from his prizes. And with the 20, he's going to hit the Keldeo, which is a questionable move. I guess his plan is to hit it with a Emerald Slash later on in the game. He's going to take a supporter, or he's going to take a prize. It looks like he's going for the Verbank, so his hand probably has a lot of stuff already. He has energy, laser, energy, whatever he could possibly want. And on my turn, I don't really need much right now. I have the energy on Thundurus, and that's probably all I really need for the most part. I want to hit this Genesect to get it closer to a knockout with Kyurem to Blizzard Burn it, so I don't need a Silver Bangle later. A Colress Machine would be nice, so I could get 2 energy onto a Kyurem. I'd get 1 with the Colress Machine, and then Raiden Knuckle would attach 1 from my discard to a Kyurem. So I would be able to get 2 on, and then if he doesn't have a response, I would be able to knock him out with Blizzard Burn, and he would have very little energy in play if I did that. And he does not run Colress Machine, so that would put him in a very bad position. And I did draw what it looks like is a Dowsing Machine and a lot of supporters. A switch, mostly supporters. That Dowsing Machine If you recall, at the very start of the game, I did discard a Colress Machine with Juniper when my only Pokemon was Keldeo, which was not a Team Plasma Pokemon. So I might want to get that back with Jousting Machine to attach to Kyurem. But no, it looks like I'm going to just settle with the Raiden Knuckle and maybe save that for next turn, or possibly just not do it at all. Yeah, but 50 on Genesect, which definitely will matter in the coming turns. And he's going to play that Verbank he got off his prizes, obviously. There's no reason he shouldn't play that since I do not run Laser. I also do not run Frozen City in this particular deck list. And he's going to play Laser on my Thundurus. This 30 damage won't matter too much. If he's planning on hitting it for 130 and then hitting it with the bench with Megalo Cannon, that would indeed get him the 2 prizes. But that is not entirely likely. The odds are against him for that to happen, for them to get that many Megalo Cannons off to hit 2 more to this bench Thundurus after hitting other things. So it looks like, let's see what Mikey's going to do. He's going to need an energy to power up probably Virizion, so he can power up his Genesects faster as well as do some damage. And looks like Mikey's hand may be very bad. It looks like he's just going to Megalo Cannon for 130 with the poison from Hypnotoxic Laser, and the 20 is going to go on Keldeo. Now that is a very now the 20 on Keldeo is going to start adding up, and the sleep flip. The sleep flip does not matter because my Keldeo is just going to rush in and get rid of the special condition anyway. But yeah, now if he hits the Keldeo with a Emerald Slash, he will be in a good position. He's going to, you know, all those damage, all those attacks with Tropius and Megalo Cannon will add up on the Keldeo. But it looks like I'm going to Skyla for a Colress Machine, so it looks like I have the energy in my hand, and I'll be able to knock out his Genesect and, you know, get a lot of prizes. He will have no energy left to play, and I will probably be in a position to win this game. He will not really have a response to that for a few turns, which definitely allow me to take all the rest of my prizes. All I need is 2 more knockouts. Yes, I do have the Prism Energy. I'm going to use Rush In and Retreat since there's no reason to discard the energy off of Thundurus right now. Maybe later, but definitely not right now. Yes, the Blizzard Burn will do enough to knock out this Genesect, which is very good for me. But for my hand, as you saw, I had a lot of supporters for my hand earlier, so I don't really have very many options with my hand, probably. I'm going to guess it's pretty bad. He draws a card before actually attacking, or before sending up a Pokemon, which is not what you're supposed to do, but I don't particularly care. Looks like he asks how many cards are in my hand. It is 9. I have drawn a lot of prizes in the recent turns. It looks like he's going to attach a G booster to his Genesect, which could actually be able to swing the game in his favor, but right now he definitely does not have enough energy to power up Genesect. Let's see what Mikey's going to do here. He's definitely going to want energy. He might just be keeping this Genesect active to have it take hits, but it looks like he's going to play a switch to move to Virizion. That is where he's going to want to put his energy on, so that might not be the best choice to keep that active. He could definitely have kept the Tropius on the active spot, which is something I definitely do not want to hit, because it is a non-EX Pokemon, so it'll have to take at least 7 prizes, basically, if I want to win this game. If I hit that, if I ever knock out that Tropius, it will never really matter. And what was that that just happened? Someone probably stole something from me. That's pretty normal for my league. I have a lot of less than polite friends. But anyway, I mean this league, not really anywhere else. But anyway, back to Pokemon cards. What's that? Let's see what Mikey gets off this 5 from his N. He's definitely gonna want an energy first of all to put on Virizion. That other thing on the bench, I believe that is a Virizion that his arm is over. I maybe should have viewed the camera out a little more, but nothing I can do about that now. Looks like he did not draw an energy. He must have. No, he has a Plasma Energy. He may or may not be using Red Signal. He's going to attach it to Genesect, which suggests that he may be using Red Signal. But he might want to attach it to Virizion instead to get the Emerald Slash going. And he's going to use a red signal to bring up Deoxys, which does not actually do anything because I can just use Brush In to bring Kellio active and then retreat it for Kyurem, and that wouldn't really do anything. But doesn't look like he just doesn't look like he has many more options to do that. So he might as well just do that as opposed to nothing. I think that's a Virizion event. That might be a Genesect. I can't tell. I do have one real Virizion X in this deck, and he has not drawn it. Looks like he's counting his grass energy out to see what his odds are of getting one. Oh no, he's using a super odd. Yes, that's what he's doing. Shuffling in 2 grass energy and a Genesect. He definitely wants those grass energy back in his deck to use with both Emerald Slash to get them out of the deck and put them back on Pokemon, or just to draw them to attach them to Pokemon. So Super Odd's a very good card in this deck. Be able to get back so many energy. I definitely like Super Odd in this deck. All right, so let's see. Is that all he's gonna do, or is he have any more options? It's hard to tell. And it looks like it's my turn now. I believe that I saw a catcher in my hand and a silver bangle. That might actually be game. Oh, it looks like I mistakenly thought that I would knock out the Virizion with Blizzard Burn, but no, I have to catcher to bring up the Genesect. So yeah, that game 1 goes to me for the game 1. That's to me. Mikey definitely did not draw what he wanted that game, but hopefully next game he'll be able to get a much better start with Virizion and Grass Energy, and be able to use Megalo Cannon a lot earlier. And it looks like now we're going to shuffle up for game 2. What am I doing? I think I have a split sleeve. Maybe that's what I ran off for before. I think that's what it was. I had a split sleeve. It looks like, yes, I do find it, finally. Yeah, these Dragon Shield sleeves, I don't think they're that old, but they definitely seem to split a lot. I'm going to get another sleeve here. Speaking of sleeves, Mikey has some very nice sleeves of the Lucario Diamond and Pearl pre-release sleeves. Those are very old sleeves, very cool looking sleeves. Actually, I believe those are like the first or second pair of sleeves I ever bought. I somehow found them for really cheap at a card shop, which is really lucky. Those are actually very hard to find sleeves, but I got them for a really good price, and I did not know it at the time. And I just thought they were like, ooh, cool, Lucario, yay! And then they're like this big thing that everyone thinks is awesome. But that was just lucky for me to find those. I've heard people paying like $50 or something for 2 sets of them. 2 sets is in 50, so 100 total for like $50. Yeah, very cool sleeves. Yeah, now for game 2. Mikey going first definitely does put him at an advantage. Unless I can get a very fast Kyurem, he definitely has a lot of opportunities to shut me down and get rid of a lot of my options. He's going to be able to get an Emerald Slash. If he optimally, he'll be getting an Emerald Slash on turn 2, which is exactly what he wants. If he starts with the Virizion, attaches to it, the next turn he'll be able to attach to it again, then use Emerald Slash, and if I have a Kyurem out there, he'll hopefully hit that for 50 and then follow up with the Megalo Cannon. If I do not have a Kyurem out, then I'm probably not applying much early pressure, and he's going to be in a good position regardless. But if if he's not able to stop my Kyurem from knocking him out and getting rid of his big Genesects with 3 energy and his Virizions and stuff like that, then he will be at a disadvantage. And looks like I have a basic here. The hand looks really good. Depends on I didn't see what I started with. I think I saw a Water Energy, a Chorus Machine, and a Silver Bangle. So that would definitely be really good if I had a Kyurem as my starter. Let's see what it is. He is going to go first because he lost game 1, so he will be getting to go first, which is obviously a good thing. You always want to do that. Looks like I don't know what we're waiting for. He is going first, obviously. I don't think we're supposed to wait for anyone. We're just supposed to start. Maybe, I don't know what happened, but anyway, my starter is a Deoxys, and there's my real Virizion. And that is not what I want to start with ever. Deoxys is always a terrible starter. It has a 2 retreat cost, and it has a pretty weak attack in the early turns, which is 30, and if you have a Plasma Energy on it, it does 30 more damage for each energy on the defending Pokemon. So, what am I trying to say? In the early turns, your opponent's not going to have very much energy on. Yeah, I show the three cards I mentioned earlier: Water Energy, Colorless Machine, and Silver Bangle. And if they don't have very many energy on their Pokemon, which they're not gonna, then Helix Force is gonna do very little damage. And looks like he plays an N, which shuffles away my pretty bad hand. Had no Pokemon really. I didn't want to use any of that stuff on Deoxys. He has a Virizion active, which is what he wants, obviously, and a Genesect on the bench with the G booster. So he's threatening a very early G booster attack to knock me out. That will definitely be a bad thing for me. He did play a Hypnotoxic Laser and put my Deoxys to sleep, which is could end up being very bad because I only play one switch, as well as the Keldeo and Floatstone. So if I'm forced to, if I stay asleep from this Hypnotoxic Laser, I could be having this Deoxys stuck active for a few turns, getting a free hit on it, which will not be good for me. I definitely want to apply early pressure in these first turns with Thundurus and Deoxys, or Thundurus and Kyurem. Even Deoxys is a viable option for pressure. If he's already attached energy to Virizion, he'll be able to, Deoxys will be able to do 60, which can end up mattering. He does get a grass energy, so Mikey definitely has, probably, other than a Verbank, probably the best start he could ask for. Hit energy on Virizion, Genesect on the bench. He might want more Pokemon on the bench, but he doesn't need those immediately. In fact, he might not even want those at all in case I get a Frost Spear. See, this is a problem with benching Pokemon early. I'm going to catch his Genesect, and he's, he doesn't want that thing to be active. He wants the thing with energy to be active. It looks like my hand has a bunch of Pokemon. I have another Deoxys and 2 more Kyurems, and I'm going to Juniper, and I have another Blend Energy, which is also good. And it appears that I did wake up from that. So I'm definitely going to have a good start here. It looks like I drew a Colorless Machine and a Floatstone, which will be able to allow me to use a turn 1 Frost Spear, which is obviously what I want, the exact start I'm hoping for with this deck. And if I get lucky enough, if I get lucky enough to hit everything I want next turn, I will definitely be able to shut him down and not allow him to do much at all. I'll be able to hit this Genesect for 50, unless I have a Silver Bangle, then it'll add up to 80, which will be even stronger. I think I saw another Deoxys in my hand, so I'll be able to do 60 to this Genesect, and then 30 to the Virizion, and then hopefully knock out the Virizion next turn if I cannot draw a catcher. So I definitely have a lot of options to take prizes here, and he is backed up into a corner, really. The Avatar Deoxys and the Floatstone. There's no reason I shouldn't be doing this. This is obviously what I want to do right now. This is very, very good for me. I'm not sure if Mikey can pull up a response for this. Don't think I have many options in my hand. I had an Ultra Ball. I could have possibly played that and got another Pokemon, but it seems like my hand has a lot of stuff I want to keep. I can't see what they are exactly. I think there's a Skyla in there. So Mikey does have a good hand. He has a Virizion, a Grass Energy, and a Switch. And it looks like all he can do is get an Emerald Slash, which is not what he wants to do. He wants to get another Genesect in play to make sure it won't be knocked out next turn. He'll be able to keep all his energy in play. He's just going to have to get 2 on the Genesect. And if I cannot get knockout on this Genesect, then I will not actually be in a very good position. If I might have to power up a benched Kyurem as opposed to powering up this active, because if he knocks out this active one, but if I have 3 energy on it, then I'm not going to be able to have much of an attack next turn. So let's see what I can do here to follow up to this. If I have a catcher and an energy, then I definitely will be in a good position. He'll have no Genesect, and his have no real attackers at all. I'm going to play a Dowsing Machine to get a Pokemon catcher and bring up the Genesect. So Dowsing Machine coming through in the clutch here, getting that card. And I'm going to play a Bianca for 5. Let's see if I can get the energy. I believe that first card was the Prism Energy, so yes. I'm going to be able to get the knockout on this Genesect, and he will really have no options anymore. Yeah, Prism Energy. I definitely want to do this. I don't really have any other reason not to do that, really, honestly. It gets rid of his G booster as well, so let's see what Mikey can do. He can still definitely come back from this. If he has another Genesect, he can Emerald Slash. A good thing to have would be a laser here to not hit this Kyurem for 60 with the Emerald Slash and Laser, and then he'd be able to catcher the other Genesect, or the catcher the Kyurem, and do 100 to that and knock out this other Kyurem. But looks like he's just gonna hit me for 50 and put 2 energy in his bench. Virizion. Looks like a very bad hand from Mikey. That is not good for him. He definitely wants more cards. I'm surprised his hands are so bad. I feel like I never draw this poorly with this deck. Because I think in his last match he didn't draw very well a lot of the time. He is 1-0 currently. I don't think I was down paired. So he definitely did not too bad. And looks like I have a Skyla, which is probably going to be for a switch. Either that or a some way to get Keldeo, because I want to use Blizzard Burn again. I can either get a switch into Deoxys, then retreat back to Kyurem and use Blizzard Burn. But it looks like I have no way to knock it out. I don't see what my hand is. I think there's Team Plasma Ball. I think maybe another supporter. Maybe not actually. It looks like I don't know what I'm getting here with this Skyla. I may just be getting a supporter because my hand is bad. I don't know what's in there. Let's see if I could get a better view of his hand. I could his hand. I see a Kyurem, a Tool Scrapper. I almost said Lugia, but I know I don't have Lugia in my deck, so maybe that's a Colorless Machine. If something blue looked like a full art, maybe it's an N. I have one N full art in this deck, or do I? Yeah, I do. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Juniper. No real rush to apply pressure. Well, there is sort of a rush to apply pressure because he can knock out my Kyurem and just get rid of all my energy. But here I have a Thundurus EX. This opens up a very good play for me if I have energy in my hand. Let's see if I see this. Let's see what I do here. Yes, I have a blend energy I can attach to Thundurus. And now here, I can retreat this Kyurem. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to retreat this Kyurem, send up the Thundurus, and raid a Knuckle and put an energy on the other Kyurem that has no damage on it. And I'll be in a very good position. His Virizion will have 90 damage. And I'll probably be able to knock it out next turn. And I put an energy on the Kyurem to make sure I can deal with any threats he puts down the next turn. Like if he draws a Genesect and he Emerald Slashes to that, I'll be able to knock that out with this Kyurem. So let's see what he draws with his card. I don't see him playing down a Genesect or anything, so it looks like he did not draw much good. I see a Verbank in his hand. I think some Grass Energy. I think what else is there? I think I saw a Tool Scrapper. It looks like he really doesn't have options. He has just nothing. He's just going to Emerald Slash, and he's not even going to get energy. You do have the option to not search your deck at all with Emerald Slash. It says specifically on the card, you may search your deck, so he definitely does not have to do that. A good choice not to do that, because you don't want 3 or more energy on a Virizion. It looks like here I'm going to swap the Full Art Thundurus for the regular art, because I just enjoy Full Arts a lot more. Honestly, the Full Arts just look a lot more pretty to me. The regular ones look really stupid. Not stupid, but they look a lot lamer, except the Genesect DX is probably the one exception where I like the regular art a lot. I like the regular art Genesect DX. It looks really cool. His red eyes, very smooth. I don't know. It looks very cool. But it looks like here I'm just sitting out cards from my deck. I used a Team Plasma Ball to get a Thundurus, and then I discarded the Thundurus with an Ultra Ball to get Keldeo, and I may just be using a Professor Juniper this turn, because I got that with Skyla last turn. Yeah, I'm going to Juniper here and discard those excess Pokemon that I do not need and do not want at all. I do not want the Keldeo, because it will allow him to take prizes on it with the Grass weakness, obviously. Very easy knockout for him. And I have a Colorless Machine, which will allow me to get a Kyurem this turn. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the Blizzard Burn, because it might be a little overkill. He only has 90 HP left, but it looks like that's what I'm going to do here. It still doesn't leave him with very many options. I'll knock out this Virizion, and then I'll only need 2 more prizes. Next turn, I'll probably hit him with a Blizzard Burn again. I'm going to use another Colorless Machine. Let's see where I'm going to put this. I'm going to put that on the Thundurus. Now, I think the reason I'm putting it on the Thundurus is so I can retreat and not discard my Blend Energy, which is a smart play by me. I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but I think that was a good decision. So I don't have, if he somehow manages to knock out my Kyurem, I'll still have the Blend Energy on. Or if he draws an N and gets rid of my hand, and if I discarded the Blend with retreating, then yeah, looks like I'm preparing for an N a lot. Then I won't have any option to attack. and I'll just have to pass for a few turns until I draw an energy. But yes, I am preparing for future and attaching the Silver Bangle, as well as Chorus Machining to the Thundurus. So I don't have to discard my blend energy. It looks like he has nothing still. Oh, he has a Skyla. Looks like he will have something this turn. He may just want to get a Genesect and, you know, have an option to do something. He might just go for a supporter in case I don't have a way to Blizzard Burn. So then if I, what am I saying? If he gets a supporter, he has a turn to stall. But it looks like he's going for a catcher. On what exactly? He may be going for the benched Kyurem to knock that out, or possibly a Deoxys EX to stall time. But this may actually not be the best play, because, as I said before, I run one switch, and I also have 3 Floatstone in this deck, so drawing, looks like he's bringing up a fart. Don't hurt my farts! No! So it's more likely I'll be able to hit a Floatstone than a switch, and I'm not going to be able to attack anyway with Kyurem, so really, I don't mind that. I'm just glad he did that, so I have the Floatstone option to retreat. And yeah, I do have the Floatstone, so I'm probably just going to retreat and Blizzard Burn, so next turn I can hit it with Frost Spear or Braden Knuckle or something. Looks like I'm being stupid again and being like, oh, I win because I have a knockout, but no, I don't. Yeah, I attached the blend energy to the benched Kyurem that has 100 damage, so even if he knocks this out, I have a lot of options to knock out the Virizion next turn after this thing goes, if he plays like an enemy. It looks like he just has no options. I can just retreat into the Thundurus, and a good game, Mikey. It seems like a bit of a poor game, but that's just what happens sometimes. You just don't draw very well. You know, can't fault the player at all. I think he could have made a few better decisions to better himself, but I think he played all right. Good job, Mikey. I think you definitely. It was definitely not exactly the most graceful win for me, but yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just fishing out energy, just to see. But yeah, I will be advancing to 2-0. Mikey will be 1-1. And sadly, my last. This is only a 3-round tournament, and my 3rd round did not completely record. It cut off at the end, but the games weren't that exciting. I'll tell you right now, I had one hand that was for Professor Juniper, but that's about all the exciting that happened. I think the first one, I donked something. He plays a weird deck. My opponent played a Amoonguss Ninetales Mewtwo deck. It's a very interesting deck, but it was 2-0, so it's definitely a decent deck. It does perform very well. I think I donked a Vulpix on the first game, and then I drew nothing the second game. He just attached DCEs to a Mewtwo and knocked out a Kyurem of mine. And then the 3rd game, I drew dead for a while, and eventually I came back and won. And then I went on a 3-0, and I won the whole tournament. Yay! And I got 4 packs, and I pulled a Genesect, and I was super excited for that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys I have another league tournament coming up, and I also have another game that is recorded that was not in any tournament. So I definitely have more battle games coming up. It seems like you guys like these videos, so I will keep pumping them out for you. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.